It is one of the worst things to do in an economy that's sputtering along, to have draconian cuts in fundamental human services. It aggravates the recession. It makes unemployment worse. The demand for food in Illinois in this recession has dramatically increased on the part of hard-working people who are working jobs, raising kids, paying taxes, and they, at the end of the month, find that they do not have enough food to feed their family. And that's really the whole principle of food pantries and food banks, to be available for people who have a need, and particularly for senior citizens and for children who need nourishment in order to do well in life. In the latter part of life, we want to make sure our seniors are treated with dignity, and if they don't have enough income for food, we want to have a food bank and a food pantry nearby. And so that's why I proposed a tax increase in order to have a revenue available to balance the budget, to pay for food assistance to people across Illinois, and to invest in many other good things that matter to the people of our state. But I can't think of a more important human service than providing food for the hungry. Illinois is renowned for its generosity, the fact we are an agricultural state. I've been to places like Japan where our soybeans are part of their diet, and that's true in many other countries as well. So we in Illinois cannot, in our own state, with our own neighbors, suffer the fact that we have to cut back on food assistance to our food banks. And that's exactly what will happen if we don't get the General Assembly, along with members of the General Assembly, to vote for proper revenue, to have a balanced budget so we can meet the human needs of our state during this tough time. I want to appeal to the legislature that it's time to be courageous. There are probably only maybe 3 or 4 votes in one's legislative career that one can truly say are historic or acts of courage. But I think this is the time. We cannot have folks running in place pretending that we're in a situation where all is well. It's the exact opposite. All is in dire straits. And we, the people of Illinois, need to do what's necessary to take care of our neighbor, especially those who are vulnerable and needy.
That this is a need that is not just seen here in Chicago or in Cook County, but frankly, it's seen across the state. All of the food banks in the state of Illinois are seeing increases in the double digits. We here at the Greater Chicago Food Depository are seeing a 35% increase in the number of individuals who are turning to pantries in this community. And if there is a headline for us this year, it is the number of times that we have heard people say, "I never thought I was going to have to visit a food pantry." We are seeing increasing numbers of individuals who have been recently laid off, as well as individuals who still have jobs, but a combination of perhaps decline in income and an increase in expenses has made it more and more difficult for people to make ends meet. And often that is the role that a pantry plays, particularly for a family, because here's the tragic reality. Hunger isn't something that only happens the day before Thanksgiving or the week before Christmas when we're thinking of sitting down with our families and we're struck by the tragic thought of a family that doesn't have food. While it certainly is rampant in November and December, hunger is something that we see every week in this community.
What government has been able to do since the Great Depression is step forward in tough times and provide a social safety net to help all of us get through a tough time, especially those who are vulnerable and needy. And then when times get better, and we know they will, we believe in that, and we have programs of our state that I've been involved in for job recovery and economic recovery. Once the economy improves, I think all of us can have a little better time. But right now, in tough times, we don't turn our back on our neighbor.